Good evening all, and welcome to the first ever virtual Robert Wood Johnson Foundation Sports Awards. I'm Tony Sani. My organization, the Sani Foundation, won this award in 2018. I'm very excited to join you as this evening's host to celebrate the 2020 winners. The RWJF Sports Award recognizes and honors those in sports who display an innovative and collaborative approach to make their communities a healthier place to live. This includes sports teams, professional athletes, and community-based organizations that use sports as a platform to address many of the root causes that influence health and health equity. 5 winners have been chosen from a pool of nearly 270. Each receives a $25,000 cash prize. Joining me tonight to tell us about the history of the Sports Award is Dr. Julie Morita from the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation. Hi, Julie.
Hi, Tony. I'm thrilled to join you here tonight at this special awards ceremony. We at the Foundation are really excited to have you joining us as our host because of your status as a former award winner and also as your acclaimed status as a sports hero. The Robert Wood Johnson Foundation is really appreciative of all the work that you and the Sani Foundation have done in terms of engagement and empowerment of youth.
Julie, tell us a little bit more about the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation and the Sports Award.
The Robert Wood Johnson Foundation is focused on advancing health equity so that everyone has a fair and just opportunity to live a healthy life. Since 2015, the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation has lifted up and celebrated the role that sports can play in helping people achieve good health and well-being, especially those people living in poverty, people who don't have access to healthy food, people living without insurance or without safe places to play. The pandemic has drawn a clear line between these conditions and health. And the 2020 winners of this sports award, their work is increasingly important and vital to the communities and the people that they serve. And Tony, I know the work that your team does addresses these issues as well.
Well, as a past award winner, the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation Sports Award really helped me tie in the work we were doing through sports. Giving access and opportunity to fight against health inequities really helped our young people have a voice. And here we go, our first winner, All Girl Everything Ultimate Program, or Age Up for short, from Seattle, Washington. This is a really innovative program and organization. Julie, tell us some more about them.
What really stood out to us about Age Up is the way that they engage South Seattle youth of color, combining their love of sports like Ultimate and their desire to advance health equity issues and social justice. Linking competition on the field and tough conversations about things like systems of oppression and gentrification really helps these young people identify and learn to tackle tough challenges.
That is definitely worthy of recognition, and I'm excited to learn more. Here to accept the award on behalf of Age Up is co-director Hana Kawai. Congratulations on the win.
We're really excited to be a winner this year. We've been a finalist for the last couple of years, and to be part of the community that RWJF has been building around sports impact organizations. Because the work we do is so hyper-local, it's really exciting opportunity for us to be sort of legitimized on this national stage.
As Julie mentioned, Age Up is addressing the social justice issues in Seattle. Why is that at the core of the work you do?
Our ties are strengthened by our love for Ultimate Frisbee and our commitment to social justice. Relationships are at the core of what we do, right? So it's the relationships. If we're really going to be doing relationships in an authentic way, that also means that we're thinking about power, we're thinking about distribution of power.
With everything going on in our country right now, what message can you send about the power of sports to address our social justice challenges?
Sports is a place where people are, and we need to be organizing wherever we are. For our own lives, for the lives of people around us. And I think there's also something really powerful around organizing around something that people love and that brings a lot of joy.
Your inclusion of youth voice is remarkable. Can you talk about how your board reflects your commitment to youth leadership?
I think it's super important to be thinking about getting young folks in the room. That's possible because of a huge amount of foundational work around relationships between young people and adults and opportunities for leadership in our organization and in the community at large.
Your holistic approach at Age Up enables your participants to heal and speak their truth. What advice would you give other organizations looking to implement similar programming?
There's also just so much opportunity, I think, for emotional skill building, trying new things, failing in front of people. There's just so many places where I think sports is a really powerful opportunity, I think particularly for girls, to do skill building and healing.
Congratulations again to Age Up. Keep up the great work. On to our second winner. This winner supports youth across the U.S.-Mexico border. It's Border Youth Tennis Exchange, or BYTE. Julie, what a great way to foster strong relationships for youth here.
The Border Youth Tennis Exchange is the only tennis and education program located in the border region of Arizona. What stood out was their intentional outreach to families across the border to build cross-cultural friendships. These border communities are building trust, understanding, and appreciation with each other.
Let's bring in my friend, Charlie Cutler from BYTE, to accept this award. Charlie has served as the founder and executive director at BYTE since the beginning. Congratulations on the win, Charlie.
Thanks so much, Tony. I really appreciate that. I'm excited to be here with you today.
Charlie, what does winning the 2020 Sports Award mean to you and to BYTE?
Winning this award is a really incredible experience. It's really impactful for me personally and for my team at BYTE. We know the quality of all the other organizations that were a part of this process, and honestly, just to be in consideration with them and the consolidated work that they're doing across the country is an incredible honor.
You are working in Nogales, Arizona and Nogales, Sonora. There are many misconceptions about this region. How is your organization part of destigmatizing race and other factors across the border?
From the beginning, our foundation has been on giving direct services to the kids on both sides that they haven't had access to in the past. But our secondary goal, besides this direct service component, has always been to change the narrative of the border and to use tennis and youth development and cross-border exchange as a new lens to look at these border communities.
From what you shared, the inequalities of the social determinants of health are twice as prevalent in Nogales than in Arizona as a whole. What approach do you use when you're addressing these challenges?
Not only are these kids growing up in a landscape with many risks and many risk factors, but they also don't have the type of innovative resources that we find in other communities in the US. So BYTE really tries to play that role of offering them a safe space and high level kind of positive mentorship, but also offering opportunities they haven't had access to in the past.
Your programming is incorporating technology to empower youth to create their own narratives. Tell me how you've seen this result in their appreciation of their culture and their history.
One of the most interesting parts of BYTE that people misunderstand because tennis is in our name is that we actually employ pretty robust academic programming. For example, we created what's called a digital storytelling program, and we created a 10-lesson curriculum where kids would learn about digital editing, photo, audio, video, construction, some mixed media production, and then we would actually build into the curriculum a sharing component. And we found that was a really powerful aspect of the program that we were able to offer, and frankly an asset that we were able to draw from, because these kids, while they are on separate sides of the wall and of the border, they actually only live a few miles apart. So creating that in-person, meaningful and compelling exchange was tantamount to everything that we've been trying to create.
Congratulations, and thank you again, Charlie, for your incredible work in the community and all that you do. 2 down, 3 to go. Up next, Running Medicine out of Albuquerque, New Mexico. Julie, Running Medicine supports Native Americans in the Albuquerque area. How are they doing this?
Through physical activity and healthy eating, inspired by Native American traditions, Running Medicine builds a culture of health that's available to all people, regardless of ability, age, fitness level, or ability to pay.
Here to accept the award on behalf of Running Medicine, I want to welcome Anthony Flake. Anthony has been part of the program since its founding by Native Health Initiative. Congratulations on the win, Anthony.
This award is a really meaningful milestone in our 5-year journey of creating wellness through movement, and begins to help us dream for larger impact of this work beyond the state of New Mexico.
Chronic diseases such as obesity, heart disease, and high blood pressure disproportionately affect American Indians. How is Running Medicine addressing these issues?
The Native Health Initiative, in creating Running Medicine, felt that we could go away from a more disease-oriented approach to improving health and more to a wellness approach and a movement approach. In fact, you never hear lectures on heart disease or diabetes if you come out to Running Medicine.
Your program is open to all age and ability levels. How does this inclusive environment allow you to impact self, families, and community?
We don't let anyone sit on the sidelines. Everyone can move at whatever speed, with a cane, with a walker, walking, running, everyone can move, and so it lends itself really nicely to intergenerational play.
I'd love to hear more about how culture, heritage, and traditions are integrated into the program. How have you been able to keep Indigenous culture at the core of your programming?
Trying to take, for instance, here in Albuquerque, in a very urban setting, the sacredness of running and make sure that that is at the center of what we do has really been, honestly, the best decision we could have made. And as an example, if you can imagine 100 of us running and walking together at all speeds, we begin in a circle, we go move, we come back in a circle. So I think that in a larger sense is important, that we develop sports programs that are very much rooted in something deeper than just competition and calories burned.
Where do you want Running Medicine to go next?
We can expand in some ways that may not necessarily be putting Running Medicine programs in every tribe in the US, but expand in, for instance, doing more to teach what we've learned and let communities take that and make it their own.
Thank you, Anthony, for sharing the story of Running Medicine. Keep up the great work and congratulations again. Now the next winner is really near and dear to my heart. Atlanta's Soccer in the Streets is bringing soccer to urban youth. Julie, tell us more about it.
Tony, since 1989, Soccer in the Streets has been dedicated to providing youth access to physical, social, and emotional benefits of soccer. Through their innovative Station Soccer initiative, they're re-envisioning transit hubs in Atlanta, repurposing unused lands to be more accessible, inclusive, and safe, while reducing inequalities and promoting good health and well-being. I visited a site last year and was impressed by the transformation of the site and also by the commitment of the participants who endured a heavy rainstorm so they could share their stories with us.
What a great use of space. This really excites me. From Soccer in the Streets, he's been there from the beginning, Director of Projects, Sanjay Patel. Sanjay, congratulations.
Thanks, Tony. It's great to be the recipients of this Robert Wood Johnson Foundation Sports Award this year, and it's such a great honor.
Sanjay, what does winning the 2020 Sports Award mean to you and Soccer in the Streets?
To win this award, it means so much, not only for myself, but mostly for Soccer in the Streets, all of our partners. It gives us credence that we're kind of on the right path in community building and helping those that really need the help, especially right now in the social equity space. And so, given Robert Wood Johnson's history in working with partners and groups like us, we just feel so privileged to have won this award.
There's a lot of excitement over Station Soccer, but Soccer in the Streets has been here since 1989. Tell me a little bit more about your growth over the past 30 years.
Soccer in the Streets was founded in 1989 by Carolyn McKenzie, who really wasn't a big soccer fan, but she was a huge fan of building communities and especially helping Atlanta's disadvantaged youth. And so we've now grown to serving over 5,000 kids across the Atlanta metro region. And the one thing we'll always have in common with Carolyn's vision was helping Atlanta's disadvantaged communities, and we're doing it through the sport of soccer, especially now more than ever in the health realm. We're really trying to work with community partners to build spaces for kids to be able to grow, learn, play.
The Station Soccer program reduces transportation hurdles for urban youth and acts as a form of social infrastructure, creating a safe place for our youth. How can this be replicated in other cities? What advice do you have for us?
It's been great to work with communities to grow our projects and programs, and it's one of the key things we find that makes our project and programs successful. We've learned that it's very important to hire staff and coaches from within the communities that we work in. And we've also realized that transit is such a fantastic resource to connect communities and cultures.
Station soccer would not be what it is today without successful cross-sector collaboration. Can you talk about how you achieve this and how you have so much strong support from so many industries?
We found that they also brought their own resources that we could then collaborate and build out our project and programs with. And so, for example, the City of Atlanta helped with design. Atlanta United helped not only through their foundation, but they also helped with taking kids to soccer games that normally wouldn't have the opportunity to do that, and then also have their players interact with us.
Such inspiring work. Thank you again, Sanjay, and congratulations. Now for our final winner. I can't wait for Julie and I to tell you more about them. It's the United States Association of Blind Athletes. Julie, this organization improves the lives of the blind and visually impaired. Tell us more.
Using sports to assist and support individuals who are blind to live a healthy lifestyle is what drives programs and events for the United States Association of Blind Athletes. Through sports and recreational activities, the USABA provides life-changing opportunities to as many as 4,000 individuals annually.
Wow, that's incredible. Please join me in welcoming the Chief Executive Officer of USABA, Molly Quinn. Molly, congratulations on the win.
Thank you, Tony. I'm really excited to be here tonight representing the United States Association of Blind Athletes.
One of the most unique aspects of the programming is the pairing model, where you pair a seeing impaired participant with a non-impaired volunteer. Tell us about the impact this has on each of them.
Yes, our pairing model is having a sighted guide participate with a blind or visually impaired runner. I'd like to share with you a perspective from Tina Muir, an elite world-class runner who has posted a personal best marathon time of 2 hours and 36 minutes, which is really fast. Tina had a life-changing experience as a USABA guide runner at our 2019 USABA National Championships this past year. Our sighted guides provide blind and visually impaired runners the ability to get outside, and this is so important. Tina said that going on the road to be a guide, it's better than racing for yourself. She shared with us the community she became a part of is one that she wants to be a part of for life.
As you shared in your application, people who are blind are at an increased risk for health-related problems as a result of living a sedentary lifestyle. How are you addressing these issues?
Using adaptive sports to assist and support individuals who are blind to live a healthy lifestyle is what drives the programs and events for the United States Association of Blind Athletes. Sports include track and field, skiing, judo, tandem cycling, powerlifting, soccer, and goalball, a team sport developed for the blind that has evolved to a global sport played at its highest level in the Paralympic Games.
Can you talk about how organizations can be inclusive of those that are blind or visually impaired? How can the entire sports impact community join in this effort?
We encourage community organizations to be proactive and making sure that programs and activities are accessible to the blind and visually impaired audience that they're serving. It's so important to make sure that there's safety in everything that you're thinking through to make sure that participants, sighted guides, and blind and visually impaired participants are safe.
Thank you, Molly. Congratulations to you, and congratulations to all the winners this evening. Julie, the work of these organizations is so inspiring. As we wrap up tonight, what do we want our participants to take away from these incredible organizations?
Tony, I'm so inspired by this year's winners who've made it clear how sports can bring us together, to connect us and to make us healthier, no matter what our race is, no matter what our religion is, or our abilities, or what our income levels are, no matter where we live. That's a wonderful vision for a more fair, more just, more equitable, healthier world. Thank you all.
This has been a great evening, and I'm more eager than ever to continue this important work. Before we go, we're not the only ones here that want to congratulate the 2020 Robert Wood Johnson Foundation Sports Awards winners. I, along with my past fellow winners, wanted to welcome this year's winners to the club of incredible organizations. Thank you all for joining us. Have a great evening and a great year.